Governor Desantis expanding the rules that forbid classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity?
Yeah, it's wrong. It's completely, utterly wrong, and we've been very crystal clear about that when it comes to the "Don't Say Gay" bill and other actions that this governor has taken in the state of Florida. But make no mistake, this is part of a disturbing and dangerous trend that we're seeing across the country of legislations that are anti-LGBTQI+, anti-trans, anti the community in a way that we have not seen it in some time.
I'll go and gas up the jet though. Do the dance with the sanctimonious in his own state. Because ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, this is not just about our gay sisters and brothers and family and friends. They are lying. There are not teachers standing up in the classroom talking about sexual orientation. They're not standing up there talking about heterosexuality or gay. They are making this stuff up to drive a wedge between people, and in some cases, putting folks in dangerous situations, especially our trans sisters and brothers and family and friends. This is what these mofos are doing. And really, sometimes I question what century we are actually in. These teachers are trying to teach math and reading and science, the arts. And now they got to get boggled down with this foolishness because guess what? This Governor DeSanctimonious, he can't run his state. See, he ain't got nothing else to do but play games. America, we absolutely cannot let this man, it's bad enough he governor, cannot let this man become president of the United States of America. Because if he does, that is definitely shame on this country. The man is dangerous, America. And Florida, y'all done did it to us. The whole damn country. So as a reminder, let's go ahead and talk about this bill here. The law's central language reads, classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grades 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Parents are able to sue districts over any violations. However, now the proposal, which would not require legislative approval, is scheduled for a vote next month before the State Board of Education has been put forward by the State Education Department, both of which are led by appointees of this governor. This governor has absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's just a dictator over in Florida. Florida, y'all got a dictator. It's a dictatorship going on in Florida. America, do you understand what I'm saying? That is what is happening in Florida. Let's not delude ourselves. The rule change would ban lessons on sexual orientation and gender identity from grades 4 to 12, unless required by existing state standards or as a part of reproductive health instruction that students can choose not to take. Now, last year's Parental Rights in Education Act drew widespread backlash nationally, and rightfully so. Critics said it marginalizes the LGBTQ plus people and their presence in society. So Dan, we're gonna have a conversation about this. I mean, really, they just making stuff up as they go along. I've been in many classrooms, and when I was on the Cleveland City Council, I was in classrooms on a regular basis because I had more time when I was a city councilwoman. And teachers are not, even in health classes, they are not trying to dictate to students what their gender identity is or anything else. They just teaching, a health class, for example. But these people really are going too far, and they're painting one community as the other and trying to get their base so amped up that it continues to divide us in the United States of America. It is not only disturbing, but the people of this great nation should reject this.
Yeah, I really appreciate the framing you have there, because there's 2 points on how people don't even know what we're talking about even anymore when we're talking about all of these like critical race theory and like don't say gay in our schools, because it's being talked about in the wrong way. And then there's just the way Ron Desantis is running his state, which I'll hopefully get to in the end. But yeah, you can't even talk these people. It's like how Brown and Joy Gray, I have agreements and disagreements with her, but it's like how she just asked that one woman, like, okay, what is define woke? Just please tell me what this is. Because all it is. It's become a catch-all term for the right wing to, if you sit in front of a camera all day and you speak Republican politics, it's the best way to make money. It's like cancel culture for comedians. Just say it a bunch of times and people will clap and you'll make $50 like a minute. It's insane. But it's also a way for a lot of conservative viewers to ascribe their feelings about, I don't want kids to think of America in the wrong way, which is usually code for, I don't want kids to learn that, America's been systemically racist and maybe it's worth changing this generation because all the generations beforehand have ceased to have done so yet. So it's very deliberate what they're doing here. It makes it so you can't even talk about the conversation. And so it's gonna take a big effort to move past or supersede this new sort of woke rhetoric, this old woke rhetoric now, in order to do better about it. But on the sanctimonious really quickly, he touts that so many people have moved to the state of Florida, that it has such a big tax base. There's so many different people who are now in Florida now, who moved from rich enclaves of Manhattan and New York and Connecticut and the Hamptons. What are you doing with that money in your state? You're banning things, you're cutting all schools. This stuff doesn't really cost money. What more services are being added to your state? And why aren't, the poorest, the more working class Floridians actually seeing that? Because in California even, I have my qualms with Gavin Newsom, but during the pandemic and afterwards, we got a California stimulus too. So that was on top of what we were already getting from the federal government. So love Gavin Newsom, hate Gavin Newsom. I'm in the middle on any given day. There's an example of what you can do when you have a budget surplus and you need to help people and you want to help people. I don't see Ron DeSantis doing anything like that. It's not his ilk to do that, but he's wasting his time more or less. This is just the way he works.
Yeah, not only is he wasting time, that he's wasting taxpayers' dollars. We remember, old enough to remember, he put the migrants on planes. He used taxpayers' dollars to do that, to drop them off in Martha's Vineyard. He really is truly, no matter how the residents feel about the Don't Say Gay bill, even if we put that in the parking lot just for a minute, the man is wasting money and he's wasting time, he's wasting power by continually picking on a group of people for absolutely no reason. And he is stoking hatred. See, this is what this comes down to, because nobody is teaching age inappropriate health lessons to kids. And he's scaring parents and making them think that all of a sudden the schools have changed. They have not changed like that. Teachers are absolutely not doing what this man is pretending like they're doing. And he can keep playing these games so he don't have to do the real work. And it's really quite shameful, America. Florida, God dog it. Really, Florida, y'all done messed this up. And after a year's worth of gaslighting and assurances that the don't say LGBTQ law was narrowly focused, the DeSantis administration is saying the quiet part out loud. They believe that it is never appropriate to acknowledge the existence of LGBTQ people or our contributions to society in schools. That's coming from Brandon Wolf, press secretary for Equality Florida. And really, that's really what this is coming down to. And here's a map from 2022 of the LGBTQ education in the United States of America. And Florida has a parental opt-out law passed prior to the recent prohibition of inclusion. Don't say gay. And it's just ridiculous on its face. It really is, America. Ridiculous on its face. And the kicker of all this, Joseph Harding, the former Florida lawmaker who sponsored the controversial law, well, he is in some hot legal trouble. Don't Say Gay lawmaker pleads guilty to COVID relief fraud. How about that? Harding made false statements to the Small Business Administration while applying for an economic injury disaster loan for one of his dormant business entities. After obtaining $150,000 in COVID-19 relief funds, Harding conducted 3 monetary transactions, each involving more than $10,000 in fraudulently obtained funds. Oops. There you go. That is what is happening. And I just, we really got to do something, y'all. Florida, please get your governor. He's wreaking havoc on your state. And he's trying to come to a state near you, America, because he wants to be president. Don't be fooled by this charlatan.